Na mame nsha asem fem free Spain. Metietie Lamine Yamal ni interviews ni bebre na omubusa ne se nyame ya adoma Sunday. One Real Madrid no Lamine Yamal obeshegu ana se onshegu ntia Real Madrid. Ana Lamine Yamal say last season venue na game ne bekoso Benebao no okoshe go ho. Emma Barcelona kweshe 4 into ono ogidie se nyame ya adoma Sunday ono Lamine Yamal obesi form na washegu Emma Barcelona supporters. So according to Lamine Yamal ken ose obeshegu nyame ya adoma Sunday. Na after sa interview no the Babonte nkofo si o asa kray o kasado do nya abotre enye last season Barcelona they say Barcelona bo boku no injuries bebre ana form no craft no free injury aba enti onya abotre Michael. The first question abebusa ho ne say edi enti na Lamine Yamal say Sunday obeshegu di eti Real Madrid. That's the first question I was obusa. And to me metina city interview am processing Lamine Yamal interview no eye nyoma mienu ana mimi hu ni sama Lamine Yamal esi obeshegu nyame adoma Sunday. The first reason eye ne confidence level. Ne confidence in tina mane kasa asem no. On say football ye ka confidence a eye believe a player wo e ne ability mu and sa believe no eboa ma player to me take good decisions. Eboa e ma sa player no etimi perform very well. And eboa ma sa player no timi withstand eye pressure. Enti anytime bia no se wo check Lamine Yamal o kasa eya no wogidie e na ability o wogidie se onimbo ne bo o wogidie se team bi obesia ni bia no ono Lamine Yamal obetima perform e de etia sa team no enti e ka ho bi ana Lamine Yamal ese against a team friends Real Madrid no obeshegu e de etia Real Madrid boboku no. So the first reason why Lamine Yamal e ka sa asem ne say ono Lamine Yamal no ne confidence level no e wosoro. So confidence o wono onim se ono Lamine Yamal usa o 18 years na mum okosia opponent bi o nsuro no okosia team bi o nsuro no and Lamine Yamal wo gidie won ability mu say teams akesie no any big matches o perform. So say ne Lamine Yamal se nyame adoma Sunday obeshegu e di etia Real Madrid akin mimi hu ni say the reason why man ka sa asem no e the confidence level de etosum yenu waye bi pen enti okaso obeya enti hu akiniye se uko Spain a Lamine Yamal asia teams bebre na oka opponent Lamine Yamal tai goals editi omo pa na eye team miensa e wo Spain Athletic Bilbao o goals editi omo Granada ana Real Madrid sa teams miensa we ana ye bo boku Spain a Lamine Yamal tai omo o goals kese pa enti ono Lamine Yamal no wa 3 goals editi Real Madrid bo boku no including last season a o Real Madrid o omo 4 times o involve 5 goals contribution o say goals miensa and o ye 2 assists enti Lamine Yamal nankasa as a footballer o wogidie wo ni mu say enam se wa ye bi pen e wo Benebao enam se o hye Real Madrid a o tai hye ni nti no o wogidie se obetima akwa so say ne me meti se Lamine Yamal se obehye Real Madrid Sunday a eye 2 reasons in Lamine Yamal kasa ne confidence e kra no ana e ade a wa ye bi pen enti so o kasa o sa ye bi ma yendi na chinye bebri biking ni nyina no ebetwa nyame yadoma Sunday said ye all kasa no Sunday agro ne form wakasa kasa de eyemframa by performance no and also show working on the field of play enti say ebetwa Lamine Yamal nyame yadoma Sunday said ye wakasa obehye Real Madrid no ye kohwe so betima hye and may train the battle between Lamine Yamal and Alvaro Carreras over the left side edema Real Madrid boboku nti ye train Lamine Yamal wa promise Barcelona for ne say Sunday obeshegu di etia Real Madrid ye heso betima deliver sa promise no edema Barcelona. Enzo Maresca eye coach edema Chelsea boboku no we ne press conference ahead of Sunderland game no nyame aduma weekend. Na good news say free Enzo Maresca ne press conference ne ba ne say o say afedie abrante ne friend say Dilap etimi recover na enra mpokra no Dilap etimi ye training with ni teammates no nemum nyame aduma weekend game against Sunderland ne de Dilap entimi nsi akan by midweek ewo EFL Cup no ana Dilap ebetime si akan e de ma Chelsea bobuku no, which I believe a good news e de ma Chelsea bobuku no, any Chelsea as a football club. Mekaye pa say na eye Chelsea ni Fulham ana na esi akan ana Dilap eko praye. Oko praye no ana Chelsea for e de ba say abrantie no after some koye ne test when hamstring injury. Efiti Fulham game ni besi ne no wa missing 9 games e de ama Chelsea bobuku no. And every coach was asase subia no ne da ye so ene ade ba ko aye opene say ni players ebetima stay fit no be available for selection. Enti eto de bi na team coaches ni players ete prepare na ninji because coach bia person ni player bia available for selection no timi use no. Enti se Dilap wo pra yo nya hamstring etimi asa return ya ba Chelsea setup ni ma. I believe a very good news at the match Chelsea boboku no. And Dilap wo se ba no you good in a sense say and my Chelsea options are the number 9 row and the number 10 row. Say we had Chelsea on number 9 row now. After say Dilap etimi returning from injury no. Say ababe ye players miensa. I won't bet me I operate towards our row hoye. I won't be very good for Chelsea, very instrumental for Chelsea. Already, Joao Pedro ewo ho. I was our number 9 row ho. Magiu so ewo ho. And I say Dilap etimi returning. And based on the nature of the game at Chelsea Beshia. Opponent at Chelsea Beshia no, a bet mama coach ni decided you obey you no our number 9. Say we your coach and also your team. Now players ni prepare be bra. Eya na amount options our positions. By say na Dilap as returning from injury no. Say Enzo Maresca our option one number 9 rule say Chelsea show opponent match ready or analyze the opponent na onim say maybe Dilap and a shall see a base you no or assess the opponent no bet mark say oh batch ready a mag give you bet me as you no. So based on a opponent at Chelsea bet me no say Dilap wait me return no ebe ma Chelsea options our number 9 rule the same time ebe more options our number 10 rule. Let's not forget Kopa Mepra. Enti Kopa Mepra no Obia nim say Chelsea abrante fan say Joao Pedro etimi bo as a number 9. Enti say na Dilap aba no coach ni betima sa convert Joao Pedro as a man be operate our number 10 role because Esteban otimi bo ho. And they say Dilap aba. Enti say Dilap aba ubetima say use Joao Pedro e word sa number 10 role. Enti say abrante na returning from injury no e ma Chelsea options e word the number 9 rule, the number 10 rule and tactically. So we go see in China. Say Dilap si akan e de ma Chelsea from a tactical standpoint, adia ba kwa yo de boa Chelsea boboku ne pa ne say you create a lot of spaces at the money teammates no met me running into some pocket of spaces no at the time ya so no Dilap operate as a number 9 ya mostly opening the opponent as center back na time ya wetimi distract you na create space at the mo teammates typical example Chelsea against West Ham Chelsea kwa we share 5 no against West Ham sa match no Enzo Maresca, Emma Dilap, Ebo as a number 9. Ano Yusu Joao Pedro as the number 10, Estevao on the right wing, Ano Yusu Pedro Neto on the left wing. And Obi Bia check his game now, Pedro Neto go no say, you know. Na ya branti fence Dilap. Ana time bia we pini Todibu. And then a creating space at the match Chelsea. So say now was a return no. Ubetima classify and say Chelsea as a offensive player. Ubetima pini opponent, which I believe a very good news for Chelsea boboku no. So PM ewo Germany Ken yeka Bayern ewo form. And the first player ba ye team no Hurricane, which I understandable because born na Hurricane e born was through. Numbers now will produce no ewo through. And the first player of Bayern na e ba ye team no Brante fence Hurricane. By unya abotre na wo hwe Bayern boboku no na wo hwe Bavarians na. Another player where he impresses so much is so be able ni dino Michael Olise. But to the bia enam the ose goals no ono produce numbers in near Taibo Hurricane dino. But nya abotre na hwe Bayern na hwe akran ye friend say Michael Olise no enye hype enye fluke say teams akese ni say obi apeso osafa brand ye friend say Michael Olise no edni free Bayern boboku ni. Ya hwe Michael Olise e wo Crystal Palace. But Brantin be PM or Bayern no, adia ba kwa menia Japano, how wetimi develop here. Time you no Michael Olise no, otimi affecting games across the pitch. And it's a Michael Olise see a kind edema to my friend Bayern. Bayern see a kind on the right wing go, otimi affecting game and also influencing game. Right side or half space or otimi influencing game. About the left half space or influencing game about the central row as the number 10 otimi influencing game. Enti ucheki abranti ne fiti so kwose Bayern for jesi no ye ka play otimi influence game otimi affecting game edema Bayern Bobokun across the pitcher untimi Michael Olise in free ho last season in all competition Michael Olise am 20 goals and ya ba be new season ase wama 9 goals aye 8 assists ken say football na ye bono akwa numbers game enti se utimi ma good performance now say the numbers esa ka ho a e ma sa player na be special to me player ba ko a enche bia no me hu ne say obe hiti soro ama wiase nyina bo ndin no eye Michael Olise enye me wan say Manchester City for di na chi say omo pe no say we check Manchester City the right side of oye omo win so a omo say the ni established right winger ne hu bebre so uko Liverpool for so omo pe Michael Olise omo nim say enche bia Mohamed Salah ebe free sin nim ente wase ekwanya obi a obetima be influence game obetima sa be ade up numbers and say who per right winger back or former or perform at the highest level e brand friend say Michael Olise me ko wie no Amorim susu wie ne press conference na ahead of Brighton and Manchester game no mbusa Amorim say what's the Liverpool game no say ne City and Amorim say spirit no mudi winning na was ro by say Liverpool game no e pass be focus on the future ade Amorim person o kan nyina na say Manchester United hia nyoma mienu omu hia consistency in their results and performance and omu hia winning mentality ken every top football club was asisu bia no we tactics free ho we individual performance free ho a hia consistency untimi winning ene adebechi no drop it adebechi no say winning there be your fans stay on the top and the teams omu dominate league teams omu compete at the highest level bia no consistency in terms of results and performance was so how a ubetimi abo homoden de wo ye no ubetimi ya to aso no and ye kind of consistency then about winning mentality how at time bia no ubenya adwini believe be say game na ye wrem no ye betimi win enti check Manchester United hwe ball no mo kobo against Liverpool team those Liverpool ne dominate here by checking mentality of the game nim and no na say Manchester United here because in terms of individual brilliance Manchester will be by there na akasa Manchester United washe Sunderland washe Liverpool akasa ombe wini ato so so mutimi yesa ade ne to so a ana de Manchester United be baso so you expect against Brighton the same results the kind of energy that consistency of their mind that winning mentality no and no say Manchester United fans ni na ehwehwe se Manchester sha se so mu wini ato so a eno na obenya gidie say after the Manchester United ABC ni that dem enti Amorim say Manchester ehia sa consistency ni winning mentality
but that say consistency and winning mentality United against Brighton ye baba be di won komo others embre
kebe that say na minchia awoshi ewo Dunkwa no fen any City James Center guys ni nyina na me no mo komo kakra de tia no say ene me hu say Spain boil pa na it's because of an 18-year-old boy and it generated this Classico conversation say and it's here now you see some of these things you know Classico bebaswa you need some of these tension me who's tension e won town pa Madrid for akoma wosro Madrid akoma e wosro pa and a Barca no what they are doing is intentional. Say a starting free, Barca come the ball was Villarreal, and a Florentino Perez at CSMwa born a yamo. It's a before order now. Now me no be din komo kakra. Yet say I think say me I am beginning to appreciate the fact to say Lamine Yamal onye Messi or you calm on your interviews and throw shots. Also, Messi most times Rankasa no on Tessa on Kasa or Babi in a Jumana Oko. Lamine or Yobia or Pekasa, they be up so one news or Seda. He always want to be in the news. Or you crowd, Mesha no aba ye sanko phony bia. Instead of sometimes Obia was on you see an idea. Obi a calm. Obi person de bia oba news anymore. What you say? Inti Lamine ye sanko phony bi. Ejuma no onimiyo. Inti opekasa. Inti me be say share from that angle. Now Ken. Mami know the genesis of the story. Share what I say between 2008 to be 2012 war baby. Ye bo Classico biano. Why never interview Emebufoba? Gerard Piqué, beboa. Between 2008 to 2012. Ye bebo Classico na tensi wo mu a. De obese da be kan sam na Madrid fo no buafu Gerard Piqué. Piqué ne saye sa de no. Iti game no ye be see bia the cameras with the Piqué. So okay say 5-0 ne by Piqué and nsa say he's the main man. On e na ko trigger sa asam ne ba. Na oba na Mourinho mo so na nam ha those days time Mourinho mo buy no. Iti sa tension no e wo ho. 1 week ago and Gerard Piqué started Saturday when Commander Lami Yama Kodi no. Gerard Piqué started here. And on started by interview say referee say was Spain for no nyina Madrid for. Okasa entwam. There was an interview by no ne Marcelo Tikamu. Sabenya sa we no. Kent. Now Okasa ana or making comments be so this is the Gerard Piqué. And on Marcelo Casa. And on making comments be. My for comments in show. Can you give me the comments? Na mention what there. Came a patch of Wadarama. Vessel Bomi. Share. Gerard Piqué asem wakai. Real Madrid complains when they can no longer steal. That's the DNA of Real Madrid. Senior man know. Real Madrid complains when they can no longer steal. That's the DNA of Real Madrid. Just a Real Madrid DNA. They say there be your complaints. Who say Madrid need complaints? And I just say, "Open about chrono, but until me more sa chrono no." And I said, "Jimmy, Piqué can't answer." Now, one thing you should also know is say Piqué, he buy any guys na no mutsi oni na under Gerard Piqué King's leg na omo no. What the commander mini would na say? Say boss ni ye Piqué o no. Esano, he buys also the strong guy. But you want me buy? He buy closest friend Lionel Messi, or you associated to some of one. And then on your program, I agree. A lot of people can say, "Oh, let me Yamal obi about Classico. The better no what's na interview be say." But Charles say Gerard Piqué ni buy more. The way I'm more stronger no. And a boy no question. Question he buy the bisa Lami Yamal. Can't get me that one. He buy ne say. Can't you benya interview no asamna Lami Yamaka. Ibai no say Real Madrid are stealing a question no. And Lami Yamal say yes, they steal and then complain. That's what they do. And I just say I'm Madrid for omuwia na masan so aba complaining. What says omuwia no masa also say na Madrid for no esi. Now share the Lami Yamal kan ye and the Gerard Piqué can ye and so soon be na wom. Piqué say Real Madrid complains when they can no longer steal. That's their DNA. And Lami Yamal so say stealing no ibana okofa on say he was in referencing the Piqué interview. And also you say stealing na say Madrid for say be omo ya kronfo. Na kwada kete die. Say you can throw any shade to Real Madrid, but for you to label them, say me a crown for the just walk far. And I must say Madrid for ne buafua. Say as some new Real Madrid for campus says almost say more Spanish national team. My mom boy in his answer because the more money is or disrespect Real Madrid. Then Madrid, guys no so throws a shot to say, young can't Lami Yamal say. In the history of Spanish La Liga, club bien niwa almost some more quarter say omutua 8.4 million euros. Edema vice president of the Referees Association Negregra Emma Samuel Guswa Yeka. It is evidence by NHS one club is paying that huge sums of money to a referee. Intendo swear. Obe accusing Madrid. Then what is the evidence? For the end of the year, ya tama Samuel crowd the court. It is saying back and forth. I'm sure say Yami adumo akwesiada. Aya. Park and also the besi. Na me no minim pefe say sankan komo we enanka those days Sergio Ramos any Pepe Mua. Enka they will kick him, they will be kicking Lami Yamal. Born they will target Lami Yamal. say enkane no e bia pepe mu say what can samama the entire Madrid fan base obi ebuefu comments left right center inka the game no ye bebo de name eye war ankasa na kiyeko. I don't know how Madrid are going to react. I think say the best way a park because Nkomana la me Yamadi no OD because we share Madrid 4 times or share almost Madrid Barcelona sending you na. Inti say we are expecting Real Madrid's response. Whether they are going to do it on the pitch by winning them or whether they are going to do on the pitch by discipline la me Yamadi and one in any age. It could also be says Alami Yaman send na grossy pension no. Wouldn't who before she game ni mu one when ya Sunday no crown obetwetwe because esipen on say boy no sa not here. Nkoma ye di nani age o. Otifia na osre because he's the type of guy dey be open news. Open news ban ho. Inti ken yet ya no no. Say Classico no. Ha. Nkoma unse na say na sa Classico aye din say when say this game the tension I start say bank kakra sometimes we need some of these things boy when say the entire Madrid fan base ne die ebufuo ho munya botre akwada ne die afa die Madrid parking Madrid for say Lamine Yamal ensua Messi na me say hey for the very first time I am hearing this say Madrid supporters ni bi bo Messi abaso because say Messi with all the records for Classico muno when the Madrid attempt that no a discipline but all of me am just 18 years Shankoma was starting ED a throw shots the man Real Madrid Yami Aduma will sit down on the pitch. Dear Tiana say Raphinha nkomo no eyame ya pa na yana yame yana say one of the players in fact they care about their health. Raphinha can be. Last year, year season, you know, and I appointed Bruno Oliveira. Why wouldn't Bruno Oliveira? Are you Brazil ni? Can't mami Bruno nyamishrao. Bruno na eda television so no. Bruno are you Brazil ni? Na speciality ni say, wo bobo ye. In fact, before and after. On him how to prevent injuries. So yes, so a specialist. He is paid by Raphinha's own channel. Instead of question my woman say last season, Ken Raphinha unzo prior. When you invest the power on the football now, bonumu. It is such a player. All of a sudden, because there are times a place who are recklessly won't say in Yanibi as many in dinner will a David man in Yano but obe a discipline. Now a plan still no behana. It is painful. But so na team no more. Players are last season. Omuti te krombe bobo na juice kundi and Raphinha. They say juice kundi so ne health na a star big kakra. It's sad. Because ken, let me cast some show. Baby Raphinha prano. The man is serious na say. We proud of hoping. See, ne biceps na say ne to ase kakra. Ne 9 rights no, e to ase kakra. E na aka Raphinha. Be ma me na menchire wade. Watch this injury. In fact, I started 2023 September. E na onya sa injury where 2023 Raphinha ne hwe baby was on the 9. One was answer preview. So the injury he got in 2023 was had the same thing. In fact, on a similar injury in 2024 January, but and on a 9 left no. It is a say the right biceps no. When you move quickly injury by Barcelona say in their official statement, Barcelona said he was going out for 3 weeks. And I'm say Obe Messi Sociedad, Paris Saint-Germain, Sevilla, Girona. In the say Classico die Obe Bobby because the last time Raphinha played football was against Real Oviedo. And we in from on the 64th minute. Nyamia Dumwa, Ochina, 1 month per. So you can say okay, 3 weeks a year. He will be available to play in the Classico. You go international break by and bas Raphinha 1 ton and we're like hey I said 1 ton in temu and na onya little setback kakra and wasan so returning setback no nya na say oba Messi Girona game no prepare for the Classico only for this morning osa be train what is the pains ewo at this stage him say the more all rushes so be ball no the more and a setbacks in the beba a very very sad situation because senior boy or pay juma or pay ball ne bono injuries no start say e hand ni say ya or here na a stolen development Ken Ateta say Gabriel Magalhaes still on one and now no more ball ATM Atletico Madrid game we no on training here and for bia ho the entire makers and say 2 years ago Ateta be announced say Gabriel Magalhaes Saliba Bakwe pra Arsenal season ye done. Nka 2 years ago, 3 years ago, nkonkomo we yet table one ye discuss say and the Arsenal league no mujai. I do remember 3 years ago. Baku pra na Rob Holding na ejina Arsenal for center back. Baku pra na Jacob Kilio and ejina Arsenal center back. And Ose Magalhaes and trainee and even the Arsenal fans they are not bothered. Speaks to the fact to say Arsenal are a proper recruitment because say Gabriel Magalhaes anyway options ne edoso Mosquera betimi abo Piero Henkepi betimi abo Ricardo Calafiori betimi abo even say Jurgen Timber say umpeso kobo wa obetimi abo Arsenal are a very very good team not just with their first 11
okay
name them they have quality bench coach and say Liverpool coach say why Alexander Isak grind no the engine too so when you grind
okay
Isak's issue I think say coach na manage situation nyanka sana Kenny and me pese me bisa o boy no as I told the bia na esisi mi so say e bia no close na shemu say once he is fit he's supposed to start and I be bisa ma utrim because me maintain ye many biase.
Okay.
Sometimes if I want to analyze the situation very well I am like maybe as a contract him say once he is fit they are supposed to play say yes sir it is obvious to say baby a boy in a dream 1 year pre-season in there was some managing no abem ebia 40 minutes and kakra then no abe picky because obie nim say Isak ye fit eketiki ye fit Isak ni more the ball chain no nemom senior nema ni esi ekeka kono so man manage boy in this situation pressure beton so because every single time if you take a message go piano na ere camera kwa to Alexander Isak so we shouldn't be
okay but that's say yeah the booking course and check yeah the bebre more biggie magana for to catch kakra
ken oye Julio Batista story bi say o criticize Real Madrid coach Ferran Xavi Alonso na Julio Batista ho ye me wanwa pa I was say omo kano krebi de chere Hendrick na omo jai Xabi Alonso no omo criticize no ken Xabi Alonso a coach and o abefa Real Madrid boku no Xabi Alonso had the opportunity of coaching by Leverkusen in the Bundesliga with no disrespect. The Bundesliga is not a bigger league than the Spanish La Liga. That is number 1. Number 2, club are now coaching the Bundesliga and Mobile Leverkusen any bigger club and fan chain Real Madrid. Enti adwuma obey wo Bundesliga ni mu eya no kresa otimi G League wo ho beating ensi wo Bundesliga ni mu da eya no krepa or the team ne kokko Europa Cup final eya no krepa but league na wo je ye no enso nchen Spanish La Liga no no be the coach Real Madrid their friend is Carlo Ancelotti. He is a bigger coach than the coach your friend says Xabi Alonso. League na wo je wo Germany no wagigi bi it was Spain at the Real Madrid, a league so chain with no. Europa Cup now ball finals no. Ninu penny a Champions League. Wajiji be the Real Madrid as we speak. Only the coach when it comes to Champions League, what about home day departure coach bia in the history of the Champions League because wajema kunum. This is the coach I know handle Real Madrid. And na oko. And na Real Madrid ababa befa waba. Enti adwuma bia wa ye e wo Bundesliga nim for Bayer Leverkusen na esi Obaba befa Real Madrid. Can looking at the magnitude of the club, the pressure I work club anymore. On to me for Real Madrid, the Jumane Mamma Diagro. On to me for Real Madrid, the Jumane Mamma Tochacha. As I saw shots here now hitting the ground running. Lag league in Yan Shas Yimpo. Club World Cup ni mu na matches ba ku mienu miensa bi obo ya enko yie nipa hyase di natem amanfo hyase kan sem bi kye no just because some feel say Real Madrid adwuma no enya ade Xavi Alonso betimi aye dabi enti asem e wom ne say ono na adwuma na wabefa no nim say de adwuma ne si so onim say de adwuma ne din titie enti obehia the best of players na ode omabo enya afi na oba be so players bi ahwe enti omo ofi so betimi ama no results e no be yuti omo oba ya no na Endrick injured Club World Cup na no dey man opportunity and I said the new players omo nya establish no omo opportunity for Club World Cup nim ken Endrick nya available Gonzalo Garcia na ya available as a backup striker obebo Club World Cup the man no he played 6 matches or share 4 goals and o assist back e di coach ni ba ya na all my players opportunity no wan hu di akwada ni betimi aye di ama Real Madrid e di so ye coach Xabi Alonso between ono and Endrick why na ube yi no so no starting farmer don't forget say Endrick so ball our born he played it in Brazil at Real Madrid the previous season a Copa del Rey ni mu no share goals kakra de Real Madrid but in the league he played 22 matches starting only 3 share 1 goal per it do no na baba be more opportunity no wa justify ne ho no e be din say coach ni be yi no e di na ja eye player I friend say Gonzalo Garcia no akopeke Endrick Derby it on my coach ni di na coach ni nya na adwuma because obi ape players obema na results kid number 2 Julio Batista se senke de na brabo e wo Real Madrid and in the football career etu akwada ye friend say Endrick fo na de wom ni in 2006-2007 na Real Madrid got trophy drought so they needed players e be back team no mbese sa team no na afi o masaba be get trophies omo ko fa Robinho omo fa Julio Batista and omo fa Sergio Ramos de ne kan kino mo buy na Sergio Ramos e bo Robinho bo but na Julio Batista nya bi mo because as a midfielder attacking midfielder and as a striker no competing with Zidane any Guti these were established players e Real Madrid bo ko ni mo enti obenya bi abane ade ne ko the left wing position because the position omo competing ye mainstay ye wie sa season no and also want to win tina Real Madrid bo ko ni so ko ba bi obenya bi abo and Julio Batista ko bo loan wa Arsenal okọ Arsenal no okọ ma niema ko yie e ma ne peke the form of Arsenal after that season oba back to Real Madrid na Madrid afa new coach ya Ben Schuster and a Ben Schuster man opportunity Real Madrid bo ko ni mu that season he was one of the integral players in the Real Madrid setup okaho no obo ayama Real Madrid G League and until that make say ono na bra bo Real Madrid no as so the 2 players friend say Endrick fo so when you be more Real Madrid or call Arsenal or call pick in the form no back to Real Madrid obey instrumental Madrid G League no on fan to akwada on for say when you be more no mu playing time the ama akwada na or move to a club or mu benya trust when mu no man opportunity no nya more playing time na maybe ba no peja na niam akon kan ma no na after the loan spell say ba Real Madrid wa ba as a good player and a starter na mo menye coach Xabi Alonso e na akwa blame no debi ken coach I friend session Dyke Nottingham Forest finally and now we second win of the season and after 10 matches Oma Baba be your first win. There is something about Sean Dyke Mijitum said there is one thing we call the new coaches syndrome until most of the time so coach for Jumadi for and found how bad the team is. Almost every player per position will be a person near Macon Kaimano no be born under the new coach. And to be a bay in home, will be a bay increasing in more and I thought they were coaches in the but Sean Dyke season now Arsenal supported Benya GDA power Tetamu in the 2022-2023 season. I would say Arsenal this second at Twasomiansa. But the first time I Teta this second, that was in 2022-2023 season. And no the Arsenal supporters the GDA buy that season. Now supporters are so confident on the Premier League title. Looking at the performance, I know more than Arsenal was on a very good run. Almost Bona almost share. That time. That team my friend said Everton so near man con kind from Omo the Tariana why. Coincidentally at that time, Everton so about 10 matches there twice or Munsun to me chair. And Omokofa coach on Dyke did buy. And the first test was against Arsenal and Arsenal what form. A game I know be any GDS draw cramp over Panibeti. Eventually, Oshia Arsenal no Arsenal 1-0. It was one of the losses. Say Arsenal season no. Ali J ebeye dendema Arsenal because momentum no magada no say no. And now FC Porto, one of the teams in Europe this season, can before yesterday's game no more losing match domestically. League no more, but no match will be after 8 matches. 7 wins and no more draw 1. One no more draw and it's against Benfica, a Champions League team. I only know the same league. It's a the kind of former FC Porto womb. Nobody share Nottingham Forest or not to 10 matches. On to me win. Nation Dyke over 10 results. No, et me 2-goal win. And the amateur my friend is Nottingham Forest. Me jitum say you too early, but at least the good start the man has had. Omunya that kind of confidence. Na players need play according to the instructions. On the team now, Nuno Espirito Santo build the two. He's a defensive-minded coach. And see, coach no di kan ba be fire Ange Postecoglou no be break akra. Because to transform the mindset of the players from defensive football to attacking football, they take time. Omunya sa time na mfama no. But fortunately for them, Sean Dyche is also a defensive-minded coach. It's baby na team na build here do no. He's a man who bet me to also better than to go for coach about possessive football diaba. And I'm hoping say win now when you know ebe to also be a few na niema konkan e dey amati me find say Nottingham Forest skin.
Okay. Merci about so because you be di kotoko game no hon komo kakrenche amove. Mo fa de stories na kana ebe